This year I began a study of prophecy for seriously on my own for the first time. I studied prophecy when I was in Bible school and seminary, and I started out studying prophecy in the 1970s, but I got away from it because it didn't interest me. There were things that were more interesting to me. And so I started this year. So I was looking at just the current events and how the world was changing so rapidly. And so I began to study prophecy and share it in my fellowship there in Idaho. And so I thought, well, I'll do the book of Revelation, and I realized to really understand Revelation, you have to start with Daniel. And so I started with the book of Daniel. And I'm just going to summarize some things because I think a lot of people are doing the same thing that I'm doing. They're looking at the current events and they are saying, look, God is doing something very unique today, something very special, and I agree with that. And so I noticed on YouTube there's just a lot of, here's the great high points of prophecy, or the 7 great things that you need to know about prophecy. And so I'm just going to give you my interpretation of what I've found so far, and kind of to summarize that. Now I'm not going to go through everything I've gone through in these 10 minutes here, but what I want to do is summarize some key points that I found. Daniel, as he goes through, he has these visions, of all these different wars and different countries coming to war. And as he's going through this, it really is troubling to Daniel, and so he begins to pray and ask God to give him an interpretation. So eventually, the Lord sends Gabriel, his messenger angel, to Daniel to explain things. This is Daniel 9, and it says, "Now while I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people and pressing my supplication before the Lord my God in behalf of the holy mountain of my God, while I was still speaking in prayer, then the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in a vision previously, came to me in my extreme weariness about the time of the evening offering. He gave me instruction and talked with me and said, 'Daniel, I have now come forth to give you insight with understanding. At the beginning of your supplication, the command was issued, and I have come to tell you, for you are highly esteemed. So give heed to the message and gain understanding of the vision.'" Now, so Daniel continues to go through this, and they go over the vision again, and he talks about various things, but Daniel is still not satisfied, and so he's really distressed by this, and so Gabriel has to comfort him and get him, because he's really upset about it. So this is 10:10. "Then behold, the hand touched me and set me trembling on my hands and knees. And he said to me, 'O Daniel, man of high esteem, understand the words I am about to tell you and stand upright. For I have now been sent to you.' And when he had spoken this word to me, I stood up trembling. Then he said to me, 'Do not be afraid, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart on understanding this and on humbling yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia was withstanding me for 21 days, and then behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I have been left there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to give you an understanding of what will happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision pertains to the days yet future.' When he had spoken to me according to these words, I turned my face toward the ground and became speechless. And behold, one who resembles a human being was touching my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spoke and said to him who was standing before me, 'O my Lord, as a result of the vision, anguish has come upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can such a servant of my Lord talk with such as my Lord? For as for me, there remains just now no strength in me, nor has any breath been left in me.' Then this one with human appearance touched me again and strengthened me. He said, 'O man of high esteem, do not be afraid. Peace be with you, and take courage and be courageous.' Now as soon as he spoke this to me, I received strength and said, May my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me. Then he said, do you understand why I came to you? But I shall now return to fight against the prince of Persia. So I am going forth, and behold, the prince of Greece is about to come. However, I will tell you what is inscribed in the writing of truth. Yet there is no one who stands firmly with me except these forces, except Michael, your prince. Gabriel is talking to him, and Michael has come to assist him. So in chapter 11 and again in chapter 12, he repeats this. He said, go your way, Daniel, for these words are concealed and sealed up until the end time. Many will be purged, purified, and refined, but the wicked will act wickedly, and none of the wicked will understand. But those who have insight will understand. So here I want to say this. Gabriel does not explain the wars in detail to Daniel. I mean, they're more detailed than a lot of people are comfortable with, but what he does give him is a big picture vision. And his big picture is this. God has allowed suffering, God has allowed turmoil and war on the earth to do three things: to purge, to purify, and to refine. And he gives them a warning. People will not understand the prophecy until the prophecy unravels or is fulfilled.